Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and another episode of the Indie Show. Tonight we are talking Invincible. This is Ultimate Collection Volume 5, which is issues 48 through 59. And I got my usual Invincible crew with me. We got the unruly Simeon. What is going on, my friend? Long time no see. You're just here hanging out for like 2 hours last night talking fables. Glad to have you back. We got Comics on Your Mind. What is going on, Kirk?
What's up, man? Unreally, you be putting in work.
He is putting in work. Definitely. And then last, we got some new guy, like freshly trimmed and looking all fancy.
Who is this handsome
Look at this
young
guy.
man?
Hey, man, what is going on, man?
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
I just got a little tired of it, there were so many little stragglers, 8-inch long stragglers.
I
know that feeling.
See, that's why I never make it that long, because it gets like mine doesn't grow like consistently, so it gets like about where yours is at, and I'm like, I'm done with it.
I like the goatee. I like the goatee look. I wish I could. If I ever did strip it off, I would probably do that. Just the goatee for a while. I like my
goatee's pretty easy. Easy. So, all right. So we are talking Invincible. Like I said, 48 through 59. So let's start digging into this. First of all, what are you guys' thoughts on this section of the book? We're gonna start with Daymare's with that nice, clean look.
If you can come back to me, I just got a visitor to come up here.
Oh, okay. We're gonna start with Kurt. What are your thoughts on this one?
Sure. Holy crap, his brother.
Yeah.
Watching I think the biggest moment is definitely watching his development and seeing how much he is just like his dad.
Yeah.
So I don't, it'll be interesting to see like where he develops further into the series.
Yeah.
That's been my best thing so far. That and the Alan team up, the Omni-Man team up.
Yeah.
With him.
Yeah, those were some big things, and definitely they always say kids are on fast forward. Well, his little brother is uber fast forward.
Yeah. But I'm sure we'll spend a lot of time just talking about the brother.
Yeah. For sure. Unruly, what are your thoughts on this particular round of Invincible?
Loved it, man. I just love the nonstop. It's always literally from one page to the next, sometimes with no explanation. He's just in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the pacing.
Well, he's in the middle of the fight, or him and Eve are in the middle of something else, but one of the two.
Yeah.
Are you ready there, Adam?
Yeah.
Well-deserved something else.
Oh, yeah.
I really like it still. Got, still that fantastic pace. Bringing in new people all the time, and old people show back up. But it doesn't feel forced or anything. Just
right. No, it's definitely there. I really enjoyed this. I feel like it's not that it wasn't good before, but I do feel like it's kind of hitting its stride as it gets into this in terms of just really setting a lot up. For me, the big part of this was the showdown with Cecil. I felt like was a huge.
Oh yeah.
You felt it coming, and it was and I like that they don't then immediately follow up with sort of explaining how Cecil got to be how he is as well.
Oh yeah, the origin story was
the origin on him. So
yeah.
I'm glad that they didn't leave that hanging. That you get to see both perspectives. I thought that was really well handled. I really, really enjoyed this particular round. It was hard to stop and not just keep going. I'll be honest.
I read it twice. Yeah, that's how good it was.
Especially with not necessarily the last story, but the Alan and Omni-Man stuff, and then some of the other things that they're setting up for the next volume with Angstrom making his appearance again, and
dude, that blew my mind.
Yeah. So
I was like, didn't we see you die?
we thought we did. So we'll see what I'm sure we'll get some sort of explanation at some point along those lines. But there's just a lot going on here, and it's just very, very good. So
and it seems like he's made quite a few enemies.
oh my goodness.
Just a smidge.
You know, 3 or 4 or almost everyone.
Yes.
But I love it. What seems to be a really consistent theme is, and we've talked about it before, it's all these 9 out of 10 of his villains, it's their dumb fault. The stuff that happened to them that they're ascribing to, Invincible.
Yeah.
It's that mindset. Well, it wasn't my fault, Mike. I killed my wife.
You killed my sister.
Yeah. And then so we get that a lot. A lot of these villains aren't willing to take responsibility for their own actions and are definitely just looking to blame him and put stuff on him. So do we want to is there something you guys want to start with, or do we just want to start at the start of this particular volume? Is there anything?
We can just start at the beginning.
All right, so we get the beginning here of him trying to reconcile with Eve after he kind of screwed it up. Okay, he did, like initially.
Oh, he did, yeah.
But they get a call that Dr. Seismic, who we haven't seen forever, and who really came across as kind of a 2-bit villain, has managed to capture almost all the other heroes in the I don't know, is this Image Verse or what? I don't know.
Basically.
Yeah, we're getting, Savage Dragon and a bunch of other heroes as well.
What I thought was interesting is, like on the pages where it shows like, catch them out and, Savage Dragon and, all that. And then you get over to the Guardians of the Globe. Guardians of the Globe occasionally appear in Invincible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, they kind of get
Aren't they on every other page?
But you know what? All these heroes or teams that they've listed, the only one that's still kicking is Savage Dragon, as far as I know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's another one I want to pick up and read. I haven't read that whole
That one's
series.
been going forever.
I know. Eric Larson is killing it still.
Yeah. So yeah, Savage Dragon is definitely still going. None of the rest. I don't know. Any of the rest of them even really had that long of a run, really. So, so we get this, and they basically, including Invincible, all lose to Dr. Seismic here, and we kind of finally get the setup because we've seen that Cecil has been working with villains to, we saw him work with. I can't remember that stupid doctor's name that was the
crazy guy.
The crazy guy from the college, and we see all this stuff, and so the Reanimen and Midnight, who Invincible caught killing people, come to the rescue here at Cecil's orders.
So I had to go back and reread that. I totally forgot. The second Darkwing was nuts.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, and I can understand how Cecil becomes Cecil.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that philosophy at all. But
No.
It's understandable. And I can understand how Darkwing can be rehabilitated, right?
Right.
Given his circumstances. But that dude, the crazy dude with the Reanimen, needs to be in a cell forever. Steal his technology and then throw away the key.
Well, that all came down to his fear of Mark's dad and the fact that the Reaniman appeared to be able to hurt Mark. Yeah. He's like, oh, if these are strong enough to take him on, which go ahead.
No. Keep the Reanimen, but get rid of their creator.
Yeah.
Especially since they're using zombies, or supposedly they're using corpses now.
Yeah, that's what they're claiming. Which Hello, who are they getting
how much?
permission to use their corpse? Like
Exactly.
Like they're still stealing these corpses from somewhere. It's just
Yeah.
like it's still shady.
Oh, people are donating them to science, you know.
Yeah. And I get like, okay, we're gonna give you a little bit to get some information, but yeah, that guy should have been throwing away the key. And I get trying to I will say, like, his reaction to Darkwing more so, like, I think Invincible overreacts more to Darkwing than he does. Like, the Reanimate, I think he's completely justified. The Darkwing thing, I think there could be, like, something there that they're trying to, like, I feel like Mark maybe needs to listen on that, but I think it's the combination more than anything that really sets him off. The fact that it's both. And
it just adds more to, like, what we talked about last time is like how his anger is getting worse and worse. Like he's even recognized that I can't control my anger sometimes.
Yeah. No, for sure. And and we see him go and try to talk to him, and it's and he's basically like reading Cecil the Riot Act, and then when Sinclair shows up and he sees that he's literally working with the guy, not just stealing his technology. But so what do we think about Cecil basically booby trapping him, putting a bomb in his head when he was like out?
I didn't see that coming. Like he's literally he's getting like an explosion in the brain basically, like constantly.
Well, it's not quite Suicide Squad level, but it's pretty effed up.
Yeah, I mean, he's not actually trying to kill him, but he's definitely wanted to have an ability to, like, disable or control him, which is just, I mean,
Go ahead. I mean, I agree, but then by the same token, his dad tried to almost wipe out the planet. Right. He was trying to convince him to do the same. And, apparently their whole, finds out their whole race, that's what they do. So, I can halfway understand wanting a little failsafe in that.
I mean, I get it. And it comes back to the classic, the ends justify the means sort of argument from that Cecil's like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get where we need to go, even if it's shady or...
Which is so ironic because he didn't even believe in that if you look at the little prequel about his, like, origin story.
His origin story, he was Mark. He was...
Yes, exactly! Exactly!
Yeah. And, he basically gets thrown away, and then he gets pulled back into it later, and he basically completely changes his tune. And it's interesting that he doesn't show, like, I mean, he tries to talk to Mark a little bit, but he doesn't really show any. For a guy who supposedly his origin says he was in the same place Mark was in terms of thinking on this, he does a really terrible job of trying to, like, convince Mark that, like, why he's doing this is okay. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adam. Were you going to say something?
No, I just said, I just agreed. Because, he was in the same place and thought the same way. And then now he's turned into who he hated.
Yeah.
But he won't, let that slide in anybody else.
No.
Well, obviously, to have reached this point, he has convinced himself, that what he's doing is right and blah, 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 and for the greater good and all that happy shit that every tin-pot dictator or any politician with good intentions starts out with,
Yeah. You compromise once, and then you compromise again, and then, you no longer see the line of where that you used to, like, draw at. So what do we think about, like, to me, there's a couple things about the whole thing that really, like, paint Cecil. Like, I can understand, again, like, he can make an argument for what he's doing, but he doesn't do it very well. And the fact that he basically sets Mark up for an ambush like the first thing, and then has weapon both, to me are what really makes me like, geez, you're a sleazebag.
Yeah.
I mean, he walks him into the white room so they can be like, oh, well, you're not gonna instantly agree with me, so now I'm gonna like try to destroy you.
Yeah.
Well, you got to give Cecil credit though. He's got backup plans within backup plans, you know.
Yeah.
And that's because he usually gets what he wants. He's arrogant and maybe a little bit sloppy, you know.
Yeah.
Like when he reveals, when Mark takes care of the first round of zombies, and he reveals the multitude, the throng coming at him, and Mark's like, well, you know what? I guess I'm just gonna have to destroy all these too. And he's like, I've got a much more cost-efficient way of keeping you in check. That's kind of smarmy right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing I found kind of weird about him somewhat is, you know, given his history like Mark, the fact that he left that patch on his skin to remind him.
Right.
But now he's just sort of overlooks that, I guess, or
I think he's just done so much grimy like stuff, like he's just numb to it.
Yeah, but I mean, he left that there, as a reminder, and now he can't even see the own reminder on his own face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Barry, what's going on, man? So yeah, it's just like he's completely become what he despised at the beginning, like when you go back into his origin story. And I love the whole thing where they're using he's trying to catch up to him. He's like
all the doors, yeah. He's like in one of those panels, he's like smiling, like it's like that's like creepy, dude. Like you're enjoying the chase.
Oh yeah, like the last one where he comes out quick enough that he can actually trigger it. He's got a giant grin on his face, like,
exactly.
Oh yeah, like I got you this time, and it's just like. And then when he shows up at the Guardians, like, and again, instead of making his case, he just like, fine, I'll just restrain all of you, and then we'll deal with this, and like just like immediately like brings out the Reaniman to attack the Guardians. It's just like.
Crazy, but everybody's in the end. We're still like split down the middle. Like,
yeah, there were people that stayed and people that didn't, which was not a surprise necessarily.
Yeah,
and I do love, how Cecil basically like leaves thinking he's in, like is getting ready to leave thinking he's in power, and Mark's like,
yeah,
like
that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Bam! Come near me, I'll kill you.
Like walked up just like with to show the page, but yeah, Mark's like, no, we're done, and you can say that next time you'll let your little machines kill me, but know that I'll come for you basically first, as if you get in my way, and it's just yeah,
it was a very satisfying like panel for sure, because I definitely saw a moment like this coming, just did not see how it was gonna like play out.
Well, I mean, it plays out over, like, I mean, the whole first section is basically this. I mean, obviously you have the Dr. Seismic stuff that sets us up, but this goes for, in a lot of ways, is one of the longer subplots or sub-stories that we get in terms of just going for, a couple of issues long. A lot of times we only get like one or two issues or something, and then they're moving on to the next thing, and I don't know. It just felt like a really long beat, which I think it was an important one, though, both in terms of, for me, for Mark growing as a hero, because a lot of it, he's just been basically, Cecil told me to go here, Cecil told me to go there. Like, so I think it's interesting to see how he, like, starts taking some responsibility after this for what he's doing on his own and not just following orders, so to speak.
Take the crutches off, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like
his own superhero.
And before the battle really starts, when Mark is convincing some of them And Cecil's like, damn it, you're spreading like a virus.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Now.
It's like, damn, that is so messed up. Like, but he's done so
he
much
just
for
comes
you.
out. We'll sort this out after you've all been restrained. Like, he's just like, I'm going to throw you all in a cell until you see it my way. It's basically his answer, which is just like, what? You're trying to, like, tell them you're right and convince them that, and then you're going to go about it in this way. He does not sell it at all. I mean, he's just, But you do see that he's not actually, like, wanting to kill them. Like when it goes wrong, like when Rex explodes the control, you see he has like he didn't want it to go this far. Like, even though he's the one that kept escalating it. Like, instead of having a conversation sort of with Mark at the beginning, he just kept escalating it because he didn't think he was going to convince him. So he just was like, all right, I have to control it, which is what Cecil does, is control the situation.
Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting, too, is if you notice in that one panel, when Cecil's teleporting, telling Dr. Evil to shut off the reanimin, when he comes back and Mark has just sliced through a half a dozen of these guys.
Yeah.
When he gets pissed, when they get pissed, these Voltrumites, people turn to jelly.
Yeah.
And sometimes they go through a Hulk moment.
Yeah. Like Mark is clearly getting way stronger than he was at the beginning of this. He's just, leaps and bounds. And, kind of like I feel like Mark is a lot like, because, his dad said he had to exercise. I feel like he's like a Saiyan from like Dragon Ball Z. Like, the more they fight, like,
we got to go to the hyperbolic time chamber.
Then he comes back stronger. I feel like that's what's going on with the Viltrumites a little bit.
Stop. I'm sorry.
So,
no,
you're okay. So basically, but what this really sets up is the end of one relationship in terms of Mark and Cecil, and we do finally get the beginning of another after.
I was definitely happy about that. It's like about time.
I'm glad they drug it out a little bit, but I'm glad they didn't drag it out longer.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like it was like, okay, this is going to happen. Make this happen. Kind of thing. I mean, it only took, 50 issues? So
something like that, give or take.
Yeah. So my fear was this was going to be like a whole series thing, which, they could still do a whole series thing, but hopefully not. So we'll see.
Spin-off!
Yeah. Anything? Go ahead.
What a bunch of Arrested Development adolescents all us comic geeks are, that we're fangirling over them hooking up. I'm guilty.
For sure I am.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, you want them to I know. I want these fictional characters to be together, damn it. And I don't want these
to happen now.
Yeah.
I might not be getting any, but Mark is, damn it.
Oh, that's hilarious. So what should we jump into next?
I forgot about that, looking through Cecil's history.
Yeah.
And how he knew that Mark's dad was lying.
Yeah.
That was trippy. So this whole time you knew his dad was grimy, and you just been just
using him,
leaving him on a leash. Yeah. I'm gonna keep a distance, but this is my pet crocodile.
Yeah, Cecil truly is ruthless, but he's very Machiavellian. He's going to use what he can use, and damn the consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cecil's not, he's going to do whatever he thinks it takes, whether it's good, bad, or whatever. For sure. So the next beat, do we want to get into? Do we want to get into Little Brother? Because that's kind of the. So we
could talk about Little Brother.
So we get what is it? Kid Omni Man and what's he called?
Omni Kid or Omni Boy.
Mark's trying to get him to do Omni Boy or Omni Kid, and it's like Kid Omni Man. Like what?
What do we think about Mark's new costume?
I was just about to say that. I'm not a big fan of it, honestly.
I
like the yellow. I like the yellow with the blue. Like I think all blue everything is like a little too Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I'm a big, simple, and I like in theory I would be like, oh, blue and black would be better than like the yellow and everything. Like that would be a better.
Yeah, even blue and black I can do.
Yeah, but like I looked at it and I was like, no. Go back to the other one.
Maybe blue, black, and a little bit of white.
Or,
I like the polarized goggles though.
Yeah.
For sure. What did you think, Adam? What did you think of the new costume?
I didn't think it was that bad. It didn't, strike me as any worse or better personally.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily think it was bad. I just didn't like it as well as the original yellow design, which is surprising because I would have thought actually I would have liked that better. But seeing it, I'm like, maybe not so much.
But it did add that funny point of Invincible.
Yeah, he tries to be Invincible.
Oh, it's like a shot to the gut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get to see where we start now. We see Little Brother in action, and then you can see he's kind of wanting to be growing up super fast, and he wants to grow up even faster, But then we get the big fight with the Mauler twins.
Oh my, holy crap!
Rest in peace, Mauler twins.
Yeah, the Dunsky. There is no cloning.
Yeah, I'll be completely serious. I'm sad to see him go.
I am too.
They were maybe my favorite, because they were bad, but they weren't really I don't know.
They brought comedy. They are more comedy to the story,
the humor and everything else. I really of all the villains, they're the ones I enjoyed the most. They were just fun and yeah. I don't think you're coming back from that.
No.
And part of that is I don't think he truly understands his strength, but when he's saying I didn't mean to, you see his face here, and then the next panel, he meant to.
No, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's smart enough to know that how to react in that bottom. It was an accident, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't know my own strength kind of thing.
Big Brother's flying a fucking atomic missile into space.
Yeah. And it comes back to find just carnage.
Yeah, they don't even know what to say to him. The Guardians, they're like, "I'm sorry, kid. Don't be surprised," but they're just stunned. They ain't never seen a kid massacre like that.
and Cecil's got to step right in and get his little.
Oh, Cecil's looking to get his hooks in.
As soon as he got a whiff of him, what are you doing? Don't touch my brother.
Well, yeah, but Cecil is totally there to even though Mark told him to stay away from his brother, he's totally using it to using the opportunity to get the brother to come to him, and he's gonna try to turn them against each other if that's what it takes, because he's gonna do whatever it takes. So what do we think of the little brother's argument that these aren't my people and that they're insignificant and
I mean,
that he very much sounds like Dad.
Yeah, for sure. I would have thought he would have like built some kind of humanity, at least like built a relationship with the mom and the tutor. But he brought up at one point he brought up he's like, you keep forgetting, like I'm not human,
He's not even half human.
Yeah. I'm not even partially human,
Yeah.
I can't relate like to these people.
Well,
he basically like go ahead, sorry, my bad. No, go ahead.
I've always liked the first part of his argument. How many people have these guys been responsible for killing since the first time you fought them? Yeah. I've always been a little bit susceptible to that argument.
Right.
But then when he's talking about life isn't precious, not in general, not everyone, and it's the truth. There's 8 billion of us. We're just a cheap natural resource. I mean, not to ourselves, obviously.
Yeah.
But even though that might be true in one sense, it goes against everything a real hero believes. A hero believes in every life, no matter. Every life is precious. Remember in The Watchmen, it's what got Dr. Manhattan to finally decide to intervene in the affairs of Earth, because every single human being is a result of a miracle. And if you've ever taken remember in biology when they explained the fetus and how, like on day 7, this chemical has to hit, and week 2, this has to happen just so. We're all little miracles, even if there are 8 billion of us.
No, it's an interesting thing, and they're really playing out a lot of the conversations that are constantly in comics and the heroes, and like the Batman Joker conversation that has happened 8 bajillion times of why haven't you killed the Joker, and that he and little brother's both not wrong and wrong, because it's like, like it's not any one person's job to decide who should and shouldn't live, but yet it's also like, but there's some people that like, why
they don't have that. They don't have that in his mom's society. Like, everybody,
and it's part of what his, life isn't precious. Our lives are like, which is a weird thing when you have such a short one. I would think you would think of it as precious because you only have so much time. But like,
it's like,
well, but also opposite. Like he explains to him, our lives are so short and there's so many of them, and they're a little more hive-like.
Yeah.
I think that I'm wondering how it'll play out. I mean, I know, I'm just speaking theoretically. I wonder how it'll play out with him, if he would be willing to sacrifice himself for something he saw as being the greater good.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to know, because little brother is they're definitely setting up a showdown, because
it's going to happen.
Yeah, because, he keeps saying just enough to, like, keep Mark thinking that he's sort of like, okay, yeah, I see your point. I'm going to try to do it your way. When you can tell, no, he's not.
Yeah. No, I'll stay here. I won't go out tonight.
Yeah. He's doing just enough to appease Mark. But you see the look of like, no, like, so that's going to be interesting, to put it mildly, I guess.
And then how about Mark walking in on his mom and her new boyfriend? Just, my superhero. I'm a superhero now. Just all casual.
Yeah, what's up with that? Like, after she ripped him a new one for telling his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then she just tells her new boyfriend, like.
Well, I mean, it kind of just happened. Like, Mark and the brother walked in, and it was just like, surprise.
But he wasn't surprised. That was the point.
I know, and that's what's crazy.
Yeah, that's what Mark brought up in the scene later. Whenever they was getting in the fight about the little brother, that's my persona. It's not your right to tell somebody else about it.
Yeah.
All right, but let me go back to when they're hugging it out, and you see that expression on his face. Does he see that?
Yes.
Probe in the bushes, and is that what he's frowning at?
Well, later he says something about the probe, but yeah.
No, I just don't think he agreed. I think he was like fibbing to his brother.
I just think Mark. He was actually like not agreeing with him. Like,
I'm just gonna agree with you. You're right, and he's just like pissed because he doesn't.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally him just putting on an act to get Mark to shut up for now. Basically.
So the Voltramite is coming out in him strongly.
Yes. I mean, well, yeah, you see him later go on his own mission, and he's just, he's going to do his own thing for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I know he's super intelligent, and I know he's maturing faster because of his mom's people, but he's still just a kid.
Yeah.
And a kid with those kind of powers, man, that's...
Yeah.
How impulsive were you when you were 7 or 8?
Yeah.
Very impulsive, for sure. I was a Dennis the Menace.
But next we get to jump into the date in Paris.
Oh yeah. We get the big date that gets interrupted. But and you can see
twins.
Yeah.
Oh, they were younger at first, weren't they? When we first saw them?
When we saw them before? I don't
They were robbing a bank or something like that, right?
Yeah, I don't remember being noticeably younger, but maybe. Maybe they're significant. Maybe they're older here or not. I can't really I don't remember for sure. But so they take him to this far future where the Immortal's in charge and basically like kill me. Like I've become a desperate just so someone would kill me finally.
But here's the thing that tripped me out. Like when Mark confronts him about it, he finds out that he left him in charge. So what happened? Does Mark take over at some point in the future? That's what tripped me out.
That's interesting. There's clearly some clues and some spoilers there.
Yeah.
That Mark clearly at some point ascends to
Omni-Man status.
And he left him in charge for sure.
But he also mentions he was like, "You're smaller, much smaller than when I last saw you. You're not sick, are you? I thought they'd found a cure for."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're getting all kinds of he's giving him all kinds of info that Mark probably doesn't.
It's like, shut up, I don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and he says, haven't seen you since your family left the planet. What was that, 200-300 years ago?
I just can't remember.
Yeah.
That's which is his wife is I'm assuming that's his wife now. Eve is not immortal, she's gonna eventually die.
Well, yeah, it could be.
Did she die?
Well, yeah, we don't know.
But you know what? Yeah. I'm not buying the whole sob story Immortal is throwing out. If he really wanted to kill himself, he could just launch himself into the sun.
That's what I was thinking. You can fly. You can go to outer space.
That would take care of the problem.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting because he's been alive for thousands of years, according to by the time he gets to where we meet him in the present, in Invincible's present, and then he goes into the future, and it's 200 or 300 years later. What changes?
Yeah.
Look how much older and just he looks. There's clearly something else going on with him. His complete sense of time has been it's more thousands of years in the future than we realize.
Yeah, because I thought he didn't age.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, we don't know, because Viltrumites live for how long?
Yeah.
So how long was he on that planet? How long is Mark on that planet before he leaves the planet?
Yeah, that's true. Like, how long is
And then he said, what's it been, 200-300 years, but he can't remember Kate or anything like that. So can you really trust his memory?
Yeah. Is he getting to his version of senile,
Apparently. It's a.
But he said he was like, I did all this so someone could kill me. I killed children, women. Like, I wanted people to revolt.
He became a villain in order to try to get them to kill him, and that nobody had succeeded. And it's just it's very weird.
And is this hundreds of years after this giant war between the Volamites and the the other faction called?
Yeah. Well, and you get the whole thing, like the final thing at the end where he's giving Mark too much information that he finally does it. Yeah. He's like, you should have never left me in charge. I'm not a Viltrumite. You can't make me do. You should have never made me do this. It's all your fault as leader of the Empire. Like, wait, what?
So did well, remember, those two Volamites came and we're gonna come back. You can either take command of this planet or we can replace you. So did he just take command?
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. What does Mark become here? Because this could be a couple different ways, and
because this is his Earth. It's not another dimension. It's not another parallel Earth.
It's not
how do we know that? How do we know? Because Kirkman's thrown everything else in this grab.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
A different future.
Yeah, there's definitely a multiverse. We've seen that with Angstrom, and now we're getting time travel. And just because they're time traveling doesn't mean that still it has a branch somewhere further down the line from.
Well, getting towards the end of this chunk of the read, we see that,
Yeah. So I do think it's fun that we see Eve has made a big deal about, I know what the life is and I'm okay with it. And then, but when he shows right back up because of time travel, how you can see that she was upset that he had to leave. And then oh, you're back instantly.
That was hilarious. It's I don't want to mess up the time, the timeline. So probably exactly this time back.
They dropped me back right where they took me.
That's hilarious.
So, any other thoughts on Immortal and that whole little time travel subplot here?
No, I think we touched on all of it.
Now we get to the good stuff.
Yes, Alan, let's go.
Well, what? We don't want to go through the whole date.
Hey,
it was much deserved.
Adolescent saps, but we don't need to eavesdrop on them.
Yeah, I love how they do that. That's how he does the jump.
This is a family story. Come on,
family story. So we get the whole that Alan and Omni-Man have been talking this whole time. That Alan's been using his telepathy to tell him everything he knows and get information from him, why they've been in prison waiting for him to be killed and or executed. So, and they're waiting basically till the other Viltrumites come to do their breakout. And I love how strong Alan has gotten, compared to what he was.
Just trying to crush his head. It's just just lying there, oh, yeah, next please.
Oh yeah, they keep trying to execute him and they give up. Yeah. Because they can't figure out how to do it. Then
I'm wondering if Alan turns out to be part Viltrumite.
Or if that's part of the way they fixed him.
Yeah.
I thought they genetically modified him to have Viltrumite DNA. That's what I was under the impression.
Yeah, they've continued to modify him. They'd modified him even before he got beat up the last time, and then they did it again. So Yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly what he's made of at this point. Because he did.
I feel like Kirkman just wanted to swole Alan. That was it.
Yeah. Well, he definitely is swole. Like
he's huge.
Yeah. He's been working out. Let's just put it that way. For sure. And I love that, like, when they start breaking out the other prisoners, that of course you knew, like,
of course, yeah. that was a great reveal. The question is, how'd they get him in there?
Yeah, like, how did they catch him in the first place? Like,
that's what I'm saying. If it wasn't the Volermites, then who? Maybe they caught him.
It had to be the Viltrumites, but like he does. It's like he doesn't realize that's who caught him. Like, and
well, he was even surprised that that the Volermites were there.
Yeah,
he was like, "I've been searching for them."
Well, I mean, maybe he just didn't realize that's who it was that caught him. Like, people caught him, and he didn't realize that that's what they were. Like, because he sees them obviously when they break in, and like he starts fighting them, and then they say Viltrumites or whatever, and he's like, Viltrumites? That's what you guys are? Like, and the look on his face, let's get the right panel here. Oh, yeah, the one on the thing there. And he's like, Viltrumites? He's like, yes, I'm ready. You will fight me. Like the battle beast.
He just like wants to die in battle.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to die in battle.
He wants to fight the strongest things that he can, and
Yeah. How about that double punch?
Yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah.
double punch. Even like surprise Omni-Man. Yeah.
And Alan, and then
he's like, wow. And gee, how strong are you?
Very.
I love it. That's so Alan's response. Very. Oh, that's hilarious. And then the big reveal about the truth about the Volermites. Crazy.
Yeah. Well,
but even that is still enough, I would think, to like conquer the galaxy.
Well, but their weakness is, like, obviously they're so strong that they can take on whole fleets, but like they can only be in so many places at once. So like they're stretched very thin. But the fact that they just continue to kill each other because their whole survival of the fittest thing.
Like, you sneeze too loud, die.
Yeah, but they've whittled themselves down to 50. Less than 50.
Well, and it explains why they, let Invincible live.
Yeah.
Whenever he would have been considered.
The reason they don't want to replace him, that they're trying to get him because they need him. They don't actually have the man.
I never even made that connection. I was just, I thought they would have just wiped him out, take the planet. He's done.
Yeah. I will say the other part we missed is like that when they defeat Alan and Omni-Man defeat the one, and then they look over at Battle Beast and defeat the other one. He's just like, more.
So we should probably get out of here before he comes for us.
Anything else in that section?
No, I think we touched everything in that section.
Okay. Do we want to even talk about the whole Wolfman story? I don't know if you guys even got the whole thing.
I read it. It was pretty good. I don't have to touch on it, but it definitely was a decent read.
We can. I mean, it's clearly a completely side story, and it's just another example of him and Cecil not seeing eye to eye. And it's interesting that Cecil's willing to go out on a limb for some and not for others, depending on the circumstances and the limb and everything else. Although we do see Cecil leave him at the end because he's like, we got him under surveillance now. We'll just let it go for now.
Well, I think Cecil would use him, but this cat story made the news.
Yeah.
So he's not that easily rehabilitated, right?
Right. Unlike Darkwing, who nobody knew about it, but Invincible.
Yeah, everybody broke that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, nobody even knew about the town. Just like the government just forgot about it.
Yeah.
What about the whole Amber situation? Amber coming
Oh, we
back
did
to
kind of
show.
skip over that. So what did we think? And again, we see Mark's temper, but like he doesn't. Like he gets a call from Amber and finds out that the new guy, like his ex, and finds out, in that panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
that made me so mad.
Oh, there's things I despise more.
What made me mad is her saying, "I'm going to give him another chance."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but that's how it. Unfortunately, that's how it happens. So
that's abuse. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Mark kind of confronts him, but it really doesn't change anything. Like he begged for forgiveness, which he was probably going to do anyway, and she took him back. So I have a feeling we're not at the end of that at all. That's just the beginning of.
Yeah. Who's the friend he's calling?
Yeah.
We have another.
Nope. Somebody got sirens going by.
I know. I'm like right by. Hold on.
You're good. Let's see. So go ahead.
I like seeing the astronaut sitting in his living room, just biding their time. What was her name again?
I forget.
The Squiddards? The
Squiddards, yeah. The Squiddards.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we do get a little bit of that, and I do enjoy how Kirkman does this. Like we get flashes of, in this one, we get flashes of Angstrom Levi still alive, and we get flashes of the Squiddard, and we kind of get some flashes of Titan throughout, and then we finally do get Titan again.
He got smacked around so easily.
He got smacked. He's no match. He's no match at this point, but he's managed to manipulate him on a couple of occasions still, despite the fact that he can't actually fight him. And and then the final arc is we get a new villain, or hero in his own mind.
Oh, that was so sad. Like,
but
that's another
a potential cure for Monster Girl.
Oh, we do get.
Oh yeah.
And definite proof of a multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was just like art from Kirkman, but that's just like multi. Well, we did get that. We got that, and we got like a little bit of a glimpse of like other alternate versions of like Mark.
Yeah.
But that
you may also not be happy with him for some reason.
But yeah, so I love how he does throw these things in every so often to remind you about characters. Like we get a flash to the guy that, like the new guy in charge under the sea, like who we haven't seen since Mark was down there, and we get these little flashes of characters we haven't seen for a while. Like, no, they're still going to be a part of the story. Just they still exist. But yeah, the Monster Girl with the belt and like it appearing that he gets the has potentially saved her. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
And all it's doing is stopping her regression. It's not making her age again, I don't think.
Well, technically, if it stops the regression, like when she's not the monster, she should start aging again normally. Like she won't go back to where she was, but she should maybe start aging from where she's at.
Yeah.
I think, or that's the way I read it.
Yeah, I think it's reversed. Yeah, because that's what Robot was talking about.
It's keeping her from continuing to get younger, but it won't like put her back where she was at. It's just going to allow her now to age because she's not going to keep getting set back. Hopefully, we'll see.
It'll hopefully stop her from de-aging whenever she transforms.
Yes,
and then still normally age whenever she is not transformed.
And I would rather not talk about the last story.
You don't like the last story?
That's just horribly, horribly depressing.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Well, it's basically what you brought up earlier about how like these super villains are trying to justify what they are doing and not taking responsibility. Dude literally killed his family because of like a situation that that Mark had no control of. He didn't know his dad was gonna go berserk and try to kill him. Like,
So we meet, like, for anybody watching this, is we meet a new character called Powerplex, and he's basically this scientist guy that's like stealing technology because he wants to kill Invincible and save the world from Invincible. He thinks he's doing the right thing because his sister was one of the people that died when Omni-Man was basically destroying all kinds of stuff, beating up his own son. Like, and he blames him and says, he's going to be the thing. And, like, he literally uses his family to set a trap for him.
Well, and it's not like he uses them. They went in on it.
The wife, yes. The kid
so casually.
Yeah.
Well, wife is crazy, too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when Invincible goes to get him out of there, like, she spits in his face. And then...
Mm-hmm.
And, like, what happens is just...
Charbroiled family.
Basically. Yeah. Like, he basically overloads and, like, fries his family and doesn't really hurt Mark at all, really.
But it's funny because that fire dude, he brought that up. He's like, don't you have a couple of villains that are under your belt that are coming after you? You better watch your back. And then that happens.
Yeah.
But it was weird because there was like this random like page where they showed like the King of Atlantis, the new King of Atlantis. And I was like, this is so random. Like, why are they showing him?
Well, it's kind of like the random Inkster Levi stuff. It's just literally he just goes, "Oh yeah, we have."
But that's like irrelevant. I feel like he's oh my gosh, he's alive. Like this is gonna be crazy. Like King of Atlantis. What's going on?
I just think the King of Atlantis thing was a comedy because he's just sitting there watching a fish.
Yeah.
But B, it's like, oh, I haven't forgotten this guy exists. Reminder, and at some point he's gonna use him again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
And if he does it, then actually it's kind of even funnier.
True that.
So we're coming up on our hours. Or anything we haven't talked about from these stories you guys want to discuss?
Let me see. That moment between hold on, let me go back to the page. Between Darkwing and the other guy from Shapesmith. That's Shapesmith? No.
Oh, the Samson or
the Samson dude, yeah.
Is it Black Samson? I forget now, but yeah. Like where Darkwing's like, well, maybe I don't deserve the second chance, and like that's where I was at. Like, I felt like Mark was throwing him in with the other guy, and I felt like maybe the circumstances were a little different, like in terms of what they were doing and what. And I think, but I also think Cecil probably could have convinced him if it had been Darkwing alone and it hadn't been Sinclair. I think that's where, the combination is what Mark just couldn't get past. And sort of rightfully so, in my opinion.
I agree.
Oh, yeah. Now Mark's Incredibles an incorporation now?
Oh, yeah. We did not talk about her Mark a job now that he got fired.
She hooked him up. They about to buy a house.
With private security, basically. And I will say,
baby, I got you.
Let's be real. Mark, for all his good intentions, isn't exactly got his shit together.
He does not. But that's the whole human part
about him. He's a kid too. I mean, he's not a kid, but he's
He is. He's a kid.
Well, he's a shelter. He definitely was shelter, even though he's.
But Eve is the same age, and she's way more got her shit together than Mark does. Which, let's be honest, the fair sex usually does when you're talking about like 20 something.
She's also been, out just, helping people and, doing some real life stuff where he hasn't had to pay bills or do anything like that. He's just been fighting bad guys.
Yeah.
And all of his
and
other stuff taken care of.
Mom's still doing his laundry,
Yeah, Mom's still doing his laundry. Oh yeah, her coming out of the thing, like I was like, wait, who is that? And before I registered, it was her for sure. Like when I see her coming out in the business suit and looking like all serious adulting,
her arch enemy saw her and escaped.
Yeah,
I saw you in prison and I broke out.
And I love how her arch enemy Mark like takes out with like a punch.
So it's so weak.
Like your nemesis sucks. I love that.
But that makes me wonder what's going to happen with Angstrom.
Yeah.
And the
all the other apparent versions of Mark.
Yeah.
That was cool. One of them looks like his dad.
Sequence, though, does include maybe my favorite Eve panel so far, like the one where she's changing her outfit. I don't know. I just love that panel.
Oh yeah, that was a great panel. I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, I love that. I love your nemesis sucks. Whatever, I totally set him up for you. She's just like.
But in Eve's defense, to Mark, everyone's nemesis sucks.
Yeah. Like, let's be real. At this point, he's probably not as strong as his dad, but he's a heck of a lot closer.
He did say I forget where he said he's like I'm about as strong as my dad.
He thinks he is. We'll see if he actually is. How strong Omni-Man really is.
Yeah, I'm assuming like Omni-Man's been working out too.
Yeah. Well, Omni-Man's been working out for like 1,000 years. So, like Mark is probably not as strong as his dad, but like he's leaps and bounds stronger than he was at the beginning of the story already. It's not even close.
And
literally, he like at this point, like not that Omni-Man had much trouble with him, but like Immortal was able to hold his own for a minute or so with Omni-Man, and I think that's about all he could do with Mark at this point. Like, really.
How do we feel about the teacher still working with the little brother, even though she's not getting paid through Cecil anymore?
I still think there's something going on there. But
exactly. I don't trust her.
I feel like
she seems calm, but like it's.
So at first, I thought like she was completely like Cecil's plan, and like everything was just like her negative thing was because she was working for Cecil. But now I feel like there's probably a really strong chance that she's got her own complete agenda,
a whole other arc.
Yeah,
well, and who's to say that's not where some of his thinking is coming from?
Well, he spends more time probably with her than he does anybody.
Yeah.
Like,
and I mean, she could be saying, how good your dad was and how good, these people don't deserve it and stuff.
Yeah.
Because he seems to trust his teacher almost more than his mom.
Yeah. Well, he definitely.
Well, he also values knowledge too.
Yeah. It's interesting. Well, the little brother is going to be, unfortunately, I think it's going to be a problem at some point. Let's just be real.
For sure.
All right.
There's a half a dozen future problems.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, we're not even halfway yet. So technically, I guess the next volume will get us basically to halfway because there's that'll be volume 6 of 12 of these. So yeah, because there's 144 issues, I think. So
yeah.
So we're not quite to halfway yet.
No, because that'll be about halfway because I'm that much into
Compendium 2 of 3. So yeah. Well, I think we've covered everything I was going to talk about. Like I said, if you guys got anything else you want to touch on, but I did find I found that scene a second ago with Darkwing and I think it's Black Samson, but anyway, like where they're and I think like I think he's legitimately trying to like redeem himself. Whereas I don't think Sinclair is. Sinclair's just wanting to do his crazy experiments. So
yeah, and he takes ownership for the things he did. Like he's like, I wasn't well. Like
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he's doubting himself, which to me, whenever someone's doubting, can I be absolved of this? That they're probably really on the track to being.
Yeah,
that's a damn good point. Damn good point.
Because they realized what wrong they have done and feel bad about it. And
that's the first part of change, to admit like your wrongs, and then how can you learn from those wrongs, next time to be a better person in society. So I feel like that's what he's trying to do.
Okay.
And then like I can't think of anything else except for like the crazy scene of that last chapter. What's the guy's name?
Powerplex.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm gonna get everybody that's you wronged, and we're gonna team up on you. And I'm just like, that might be another arc right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, he basically, he goes to like basically he was blaming him for his sister, which wasn't his fault, and then Powerplex is the one that kills his family. Like Invincible wouldn't even have been there; his family wouldn't have been there without him. And then he's like, "You did this." It's just like, really?
You should have known it would have overloaded me.
Yeah, you should have known.
Super
like, so yeah, we definitely got another enemy. So
maybe the most insane one yet.
I don't know. I think Levi Engstrom is still the most insane one because he was like his own experiment going wrong and him stopping it, and then he's like, he did this. It's like, no, you actually did it. It's like, I think he's the most insane, but at least to me, and it'd be interesting to see how it is that he's back. Like, because Mark pretty much left him as pulp and not much else. So
yeah, I was just like, I didn't think there was anything left.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys, any final thoughts on this or anything else before we get out of here?
Keep the roller coaster going.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be ready to dig into volume 6, see where this is going. Feel like we're building up to a bunch of stuff that's, so like typically in these series you get a big event somewhere in the middle and then we'll rebuild toward the finale or whatever, but I'm expecting some stuff to really start happening. Not that stuff's not happening, but I'm expecting some things to come to a head, I guess, here pretty soon.
Yeah.
We'll see if that happens in the next volume or not, or in the next 10 or 12 issues as we get toward the midway point. You guys got, I'm just going to skip Unruly and Daymare because they don't put out content hardly ever. Kirk, what you got coming up?
I got a show tomorrow, Not Near Mid show. If you're on the East Coast, 7 o'clock. 10 o'clock, sorry. If you're on the West, 7. So we're going to be interviewing a new Kickstarter creator. Can't remember the name on the top of my head, but come by and show some support.
Nice.
Then we'll be showing books, and then Mad Spidey, we will be doing an episode of the Teachers Lounge. I know we didn't do it last week, my bad, but we will be on this week.
Well, that happens sometimes.
But that's it. That's about it. Just looking for me in the chats.
So I will give you guys a chance. You guys plan to do anything, Daymares or Unruly? I never figured.
No, not really. I mean, I've got D&D Sunday.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then
I like watching it on the rewind.
Sometime I've got I forget what the name of it is.
According to Metarog, I'm a chat all-star.
Yeah, you are.
I love Roger.
You're definitely a chat all-star. So there you go.
Yeah, totally agree.
The knockout.
Oh, you do have the
Oh,
knockout.
you're doing it.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
with,
right. Is that, what night is that?
It's not for. It's not
Thursday.
till. It's not for. It's not
Thursday.
till
Next
a
week?
little over a week, September the 29th. So it's
Okay.
a little ways
Oh,
away.
nice.
Who you
Okay.
Wednesday, next Wednesday.
Yeah.
So who are you arguing, and who are you arguing against?
That's what I'm gonna
I
say.
am arguing the point of Ghost Rider against the Hulk.
Oh,
Ooh, which
Ghost
version
Rider
of the
against the
Ghost
Hulk.
Rider?
Okay,
I can't wait to hear that one.
that should be interesting.
Yeah.
Marshall your arguments. Because I got destroyed. Who was I? I was Loki, and I can't remember who.
Against
Sharon-
who?
Well, yeah, but you got beat by. Didn't you get beat by Sharon and Rena?
Yeah, but
Oh, it was a tag team.
Yeah, well, hey, they
Sabretooth beat Loki for real.
no. Well, because Sharon
No.
goes in and like, so I was gonna say because I'm probably gonna lose to her in the next round. We'll see. But Sharon goes and gets everybody to vote before the show even happens. Like, go vote for me, go vote for me. To all her like, and then like, and Matt usually opens the voting beforehand because I know for a fact like Sharon had like, because I went and looked at the poll and she had like 10 votes before the show even happened.
Yeah, Rob was on last week, and he was like, he texted me, it was just like, vote for me.
Yeah,
he should.
So it takes her and Rena to make the argument. So. Like,
He shouldn't.
So I'm going to give him a hard time the whole time because that's my next matchup. So I'm giving him a hard time.
He shouldn't open the poll till the show starts.
No, he should not.
Well, usually they wait until after the arguments.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, but Matt usually just throws it open when he's advertising the show, which is he really shouldn't do. So
yeah, I'll be against Hialeah. So.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh,
that should be entertaining then. Yeah.
Hialeah, bro.
Awesome. Well, we will look forward to that. I don't think I have anything else this week. I should have my usual weekend stuff, and tentatively, we're going to kick off Die next week on the indie show, but that's
nice.
Not for sure yet. So, still waiting on one person to confirm that, but that's the plan is to kick that off next week. So
I got to buy that trade.
Yeah,
I haven't read it yet.
We're going to kick that off and try to wrap that up here over a couple of shows this fall as the final trade comes out and everything. So
I really like it.
When you do
everybody says like great things about it.
When you do Cash or Trash Sunday, you got to do last week's list too.
No. Not having it. Although it does make it easier for me 6 months from now when I do it. It does make it easier, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing 2 this week. All right, well, let's get out of here. I want to thank those that hung out with us during this. We got more Invincible coming. We're not even quite halfway yet. We're doing these about once a month. We'll try to get another one scheduled and get it out for you guys. So thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.
Peace.